Hey everyone, this is Judy with JLBCrafts. Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, thank you so much for giving me a try. Today I'm going to be planning for the week of October 18th to the 24th in my vertical catch-all planner. You can see some of the stuff I've got on here. Some of it's my normal stuff like the meal planning and the manicures. We have a trip, another road trip out to the coast. We leave on the 20th and we come back on the 23rd, so I definitely want to plan for that. The theme I'm going with, I'm pulling a little trick on you guys. I have white pages here, but I'm actually going to do a blackout spread. I've been doing a lot of blackout spreads for the month of October because of Halloween. So the theme I'm going with is actually the challenge from my group on Facebook, the group I'm one of the admins of, the HPTNT challenge. It's the Happy Planning Tips and Tricks group, and I will link all of this in the description box. But our theme for this week is doodles / stencils. So either one. I'm going to go with stencils. So I have been planning this spread for a couple months now. I did a spread, a rainbow spread in August using cat stencils in my catch-all planner, and I'm going to do the same thing. Since that time, I've gotten a second kitty cat stencil, so let me put it over my dark desk so you can see. So I've got all these kitties. This was the one I used back in August, and I will try to remember to link that spread in the cards up above just so it's easier for you guys to find. Since I've gotten this one, and these are very, very similar, they're just a little bit smaller, so I think they'll fit better in this spread. And I'm going to use these wonderful dot grid blackout pages these are from Light's Planner Action. So these are the 1 week a month, usually the first week in the month. She sells several versions of her pages in lots of different sizes, but she prints on black paper, which sometimes they are a little bit crooked. These happen to be pretty straight. This is the silver printing. She does a gold version and a white. I like the silver because they disappear the most, so it's easy definitely for me to see working on the pages, but they're not in your face bright white. So, and the quality of this paper, you guys, is amazing. It's a good thickness, and it takes my metallic pens really, really well. So I've done some pen testing. You also get a little sample pad of her paper when you order, and so I tested. Obviously, I'm going to go with a Halloween theme, so I pulled purple, green, and orange. These are the Sakura Jelly Rolls, and these are Pentel Milky Pop pens. So I don't know if it's really coming off on camera, but the Milky Pops are a little bit whiter, a little bit more pastel, a little bit whiter, which would be great if I was doing a blackout like a rainbow spread. But I think for Halloween, I definitely want to go with the darker, slightly more intense colors. This paw I did with the Milky Pop, and this one I did with the Jelly Roll. So I know it's subtle on camera. Live, I can see the difference a little bit better. So, and then I also tested a bunch of my metallic. You guys, this is the pile of pens I have out on my desk. Like all of these different pens. Some of them are brush pens, some of them are gel pens, because we got to put the dates and stuff on here. So that's the pile of pens. We're going to figure it out as we go. Here's some more of the pen testing I did. So this is a different paper. This is a blackout journal I got at Walmart, but I got it more than a year ago, so I don't know if you're going to be able to find this. But the reason I like this paper is because it's black to the core. It's not black, dark gray, black printing on white paper. It is actually black paper. And so you can see a couple different brush pens I tested. Again, I've got a really dark earthy orange, and then this one's a little bit brighter orange. I'm going to stick with the more lime greens instead of the teals. Here are the Pentel Milky Pops versus the Sakura Jelly Rolls again. And then if you watch my, especially here in October, if you watch my Plan With Me's in my dashboard planner, I've been doing a lot of blackout spreads with metallic pens. So I've got my dotting pens maybe to use for my to-do list. I haven't really decided yet. So that is all of that. Since we are taking a trip, you guys know I like to use the fold out journaling cards on my trips, so I have those out. I don't know if you can get these anymore, but they're super, super easy to make. So I want to keep everything as black as possible, but I found this orange one, and I thought if I covered the front with black, it would look like it was just black on the page, but then when you flip it open, it's going to have this super bright pop of orange, so that'll be fun. So I have a page ripped out of this that I'm just going to use. So I'm going to cut, well, let's just go ahead and do it, okay? So just to double check the measurements on this, it should be 2.5 tall by 3 wide. So, yep, it's 3 wide and just a hair over 2.5 tall. So let's cut that piece of paper. Here's the black paper. So again, you don't see a white edge here because this is black paper all the way through. I have both, but for certain, and if I'm doing a ripped look, I usually like the one with the white core. But for something like this, I definitely prefer the, excuse me, I got hiccups, the black paper, black all the way through. So I'm just over here at the 3. On my paper trimmer, I'm going to trim this to 2.5 by 3, and I'm going to go slightly over the 2.5 because I really don't want an orange edge to show on the top or the bottom of that. So I'm there. I'm a hair over 2.5. I can always make it smaller, but I can't add to it. So there we go. All right, so we'll get rid of this. I'm going to grab my wax paper and pull this box, and we'll grab the tape runner, and I'm just gonna glue that piece right over top of the front so that it kind of blends in, and we can use the stencil to put a cat on that if we want. So let's make sure I cut it right. Yep, there we go, perfect. And I can grab my scissors and trim the edge of that if I need to. So let's tape runner around this. Just making sure it didn't have any kind of a bow or a curve to the edge. And this is super thin. It's not cardstock or anything, although you can use cardstock. A lot of scrap paper anymore is like cardstock thickness. So I have frankenplanned with that before. All right, I'm just gonna line this up with the creased edge. I wanna line it up really carefully with the folded edge because I want it to open properly, fold open properly. There we go. Oh, I went a little bit crooked. I don't want that orange to show. I want it to be a total surprise, you know? Nope, I must have cut it not exactly square because, okay, should we try one more try? There, I think that got it. Okay. So again, I want this to just kind of disappear onto the page. So I'm actually not going to draw my grid on, and here's why. I counted up my boxes before I started filming, and it's kind of a weird, it's like 7.5 boxes to fit the lines. So I think I'm just going to leave them, I'm just going to use the boxes and leave this a little bit more loose, you know? So I'm just going to move everything. Well, actually, before I do that, maybe I'll go ahead and leave everything on here and do my dates. So I want to write in October. So here's the problem. I only have, the metallic pens I have are really, really fat. And so October ends up being, I can just do like OCT, and that would fit if I just leave it at OCT. So I could do that. But if I try to squeeze the whole word, no matter how small I try to write, it's going to end up being really big. So the other option I could do is write it this way, but then I have to be pretty darn careful about where I start it left to right so I don't run out of room this way. So, I'm a little bit torn on that. Oh, the other thing I'm going to do is use this gorgeous Halloween Simply Gilded washi, which has, it's got little tiny bats on it. See the bat? And I believe it's got some ghosts on it too. Yeah, I think that might be supposed to be a ghost. So what I was thinking I would do is put my dates on and then use this as kind of a ceiling under the dates. So first of all, I want to pick the pens I'm going to use. So I'm going to use, I think I'm going to use, let's see. These are just so fat. I think I'm going to use these. And I will link as many of these pens as I can in the description box. These are the guanya. So if you watch my lettering videos, you know I use some non-metallic guanya pens in my lettering videos. But I also have these super skinny brush pens that I can use to write like the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. And of course, again, since they're so fat, I'm not going to be able to fit the whole day in there. But I can definitely fit like 3 letters. So I just need to know where to start. So let's start with that at least. So let's see. First thing I want to do is figure out height-wise, what row of dots do I want to go with? I think I want to come down. So I'm just using this to see where I'm at in space. I think if I come down 1, 2, 3, 4, about 5 rows of dots. So here's another trick. I'm just going to grab a clear ruler to help me keep my alignment. I'm going to slide it down a little so that I don't bump it when I start to letter, but that helps me with where that 5th line is so I don't panic. And then if I kind of line the pages up, here I can see where I have my room for my MON. So let's go ahead and start. I think I want October to be in that super dark orange. So let's use orange last. Let's go purple next. Okay, so I'm just going to speed this up. I'm going to do both sides. I'm going to write in the first 3 letters of each day of the week in their columns. So I'm going to go ahead and add the S onto Tuesday because if it's a little gappy there, and that makes it look much more even. Okay, let's do the other side. I'm going to break convention a little bit and do a capital F for Friday because I don't want the descender, the F, to be down under the washi tape. So we'll do a capital F. It'll look fine. You guys, I just realized I did Sunday in the wrong color. It should have been purple. Okay, we're not going to panic. While it's still wet, don't freak out. I'm going to wipe it off. Wipe, 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 wipe. Okay. And then we're going to hope that it erases like most metallic on black. I have a stronger eraser too. This is called a sand eraser. It has little abrasive granules mixed into it. So it's a little more aggressive. You got to be careful not to make a hole in your page. But it's definitely helping. Now, the other thing to keep in mind is I'm going to write over this in the exact same spot with purple. So if there's a little bit of it that still shows, it's going to be okay. I just want to get the majority of it. There. That looks not bad. Okay, I don't want to smear any of the others of them. So let's go ahead and do it in the right color. Little oops there. That's okay. Now, hopefully it takes the ink the same way. I think once that dries, it's going to be just fine. So, all right. Next thing, I want to go ahead and write my dates in. So I have not brush pens for that. I actually have pulled another. I will link these in the description box. These are actually the same ones that Heather Kell likes for her planner. Where'd the third one go? Oh, I think I was going to use the end of this. The clean color dot for that. Remember, it's got a blunt end. So we'll write our dates in and let those all dry. This one's going to have to be off-centered a little bit because of the capital T and H, but that's okay. It's not going to bother me. And I know that looks super dark, but as it dries, it's going to lighten up quite a bit. I'm going to let that dry. I'll be right back. All right, so while that was drying, I went ahead and transferred all my Post-it notes over from the white pages to the dark pages. I need to add in my Fact of the Day boxes. So I have these little Halloween sticky notes. I'm just going to use the moons to represent my Fact of the Day boxes. So let's see if we can figure out where they need to go. I'm thinking about here for Monday. So you can just see I'm visualizing the columns. I don't actually have them on there. Oh, and I have these two little Post-it notes to represent my to-do list. So I know I want my first half of the week to-do list to be on Tuesday, because I'm sure I'm going to want to take care of all of that stuff the day before we leave and not leave it all to take care of the day of our trip. So I'm going to put it there, which means this fact of the day is probably going to come down here. And then since I have two down here, let's put one up there. That spreads those out. These Post-it notes are very old, and they're from AliExpress, so they're not going to be the #1 best quality Post-it notes you've ever had. So, all right. So, and then during the trip, I'm probably going to put a lot of my notes down here. So let's see. We get back on Sunday, so I might want to put this to-do list for after we get back. Yeah, and I don't mind that they're both middle of the day. That's okay. So let's see. The fullest day I have is Saturday, so we'll go ahead and put this fact of the day box there. I want one up top somewhere on the second half of the week, so let's put this one, Friday's, up there, because I don't want to clutter. I want to leave room for a weekend banner if I can. Okay, so I need one on Thursday and one on Sunday. Let's come down here into the corner on Sunday. Stick. These are not the highest quality Post-it notes, like I said. Half the sticky is sticking to the front and half the sticky is sticking to the back. All right, and so then I think this one probably needs to, just to keep it kind of randomized and spread out, down here. Okay, so to-dos. So the only thing that leaves me with then is that big double journaling box. And it is 4 notes from the trip, but I don't feel like it has to be on the days of the trip. But I'm going to use one of these big ghost Post-it notes to represent that big box. So it could go here across Thursday and Friday, because that's the 2 full days of the trip. Down low, this would just need to slide up a tiny bit. So I'm kind of liking that. I want to put a box on there with the details of like the check-in and check-out times for the trip. So that looks pretty good, actually. Let's go ahead, now that I've got that figured out, I want to go ahead and put this washi tape on, and I'm just going to do, should I do a messy rip? Maybe I will. Okay, so let's just start it about where Monday would go. A little past Monday. Yeah. Stay. When I lift this up to cut this washi tape, I think half of those Post-it notes are going to fall off. We'll find out. And then I'm going to have to figure out where they go again. So I already know I'm franken-planning this onto another page, the backside of one of my retro spread pages. So that's why I used one of the pages that doesn't have the dot grid on the back. I'm just going to cut out this little partial. That's cute. I mean, it's not quite as vibrant on the black, but it definitely looks very Halloween. I love it. And then because of that, now that I know exactly what that looks like, I think I definitely want to use this darker orange to write in my October. I just still need to decide if I want the October to go up the edge or not. So I'm leaning right now toward turning it and putting it up the side, and I'll just be super careful and try to give myself the proper spacing. I can do it. I think I can do it. Maybe I won't even do a weekend banner, you guys, since I've got the washi tape. Maybe I won't. And then I pulled the thinner version just in case I wanted to put more of it further down in the spread. Okay, next things next. Let's write October in there and just get that done. So that was this pen. Let me just double check. Yep. So this is a Fude Biori. It's by the same people who do it's by the Kuretake people, the ones that do the clean color dot metallic pens that I like to use for bullet points. So, but it's a Fude Biori. And you can get some of these on Amazon, but you can get every single individual color on AliExpress. So I have all the colors because I tell you what guys, they're not the cheapest brush pen, but oh my gosh, the quality is unparalleled. And check out my, I'm gonna do an intro, it's already outlined, I just need to film it, on lettering, where I talk about what I like and don't like about a brush pen. So Meals is gonna have to move down. So I'm just using this to kind of gauge where to start my October. I think about here and I should be okay. So, and I already know where my roughly column is. So I'm just gonna bite the bullet and go ahead and write October sideways in here. I think it's, once it dries fully, it's gonna look great against that washi tape. And I lost a Post-it note. I lost a moon somewhere. Oh, there it is. Stuck to the back. I think that was here-ish. All right, I'm gonna let that dry. I'll be right back, you guys. All right, so while I was looking at this, while it was drying, I decided I definitely wanted more of that washi tape, because those little white spots, they definitely, I know it's really super hard to see, but they are ghosts, and it's just so stinking cute. So I'm gonna put the thin one all the way across the bottom, right from, just from edge to edge, all the way across. I just love it. And like, when else am I gonna be able to use it, you know? So cute. I'm loving it so far, and I don't even have any cats on here yet, you guys. Next thing I want to do is go ahead and stick what few stickers I have on there. So I'm going to go ahead and pull this journaling sticker and put that on there. It's not going to move. I want it on Thursday, Friday, because that, like I said, is the majority of the trip. So I'm just going to put this right down here up against the washi tape. I'm actually going to give it just a tiny bit of a gap because I know the black overhangs a little bit. So there we go. Perfect. Perfect, perfect. And then I can put a cat on there if I want to. So when we open this up, bam, and I can write on that in black. It's gonna be awesome. Okay. Next, so what I want to do is draw my boxes almost like I did in the other spread with a mild liner at a nice chunky line. I'm going to use the brush pens to draw a nice wide lined box for each of the items on here. So I know getting a hold of my dad on his birthday is not going to change because he's out east and I'm out west, and so first thing in the morning for me is like lunchtime for him. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw a small box here first thing in the morning on Saturday. Why did I pick green? I don't know why I picked green. I'm glad I picked green because I was on an orange box, so that works. So because of that, then I want to use my dotting pen. I don't have an orange. I have purple and I have green. So since I've got green there, let's go ahead and make this to-do list purple. So what I'm going to do is find where about my middle, well, it doesn't really matter, honestly, because the only thing I have in the column is here. So let's go ahead. So I'm just going to use my dotting tool, and these lines are a little bit close together to write on every single one. So I'm going to assume this is Sunday. I'm just going to do every other one. I'm going to do a dot. And so the cool thing about these, if you don't watch my dashboard videos, you've never seen me use one of these, it's like a tiny little bingo marker, right? So the more pressure you use, the fatter the dot. So I'm just going to start it here, and I'm going to put about half a dozen dots. And then I can write to do or today or remember something above it. So we'll leave room for that. And then this one I'll do in green. All right, so my bingo marker, it's not exactly the same green, but it's close enough. These are juicy pens, so those need to dry. I don't think I'm going to use them for anything else. So I definitely don't want green next to green because they're pretty different. I'll probably put write to do or something in orange maybe. Let's do a purple box here so that, because I've got green, green, let's do purple for the paint trip. And I'm going to just put it, I'm going to leave myself a little bit of room to write some kind of action word and center this kind of above it. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna let those dry. We'll be right back. All right, this is gonna be a lot of, I think what I'm probably gonna do is pick is go ahead and speed this up while I draw these in. I'm going to use the 3 brush pens to do the boxes, and then I'm going to use, I've got these, the ones I use to do the numbers, to do my action words. So for example, I will leave myself space to do a wide line. I'm going to write meals up here and my Monday through Sunday, and then I can go around that with, I'm going to do a green line. Over here I've got purple and green, so I'm going to use orange to write to do or remember. How about get it done? Okay, and then over here, I think let's see, green, purple, let's go orange and write to do or remember. Stuff maybe I can keep a list as we're on vacation and things come up that I need to remember to get done. So I'm just going to speed this up while I go ahead and use my brush pens to do the rest of the boxes. Last thing I need to put on there is my game. So I want to leave room for my game sticker and then draw the box under it. So actually, let's just go ahead and stick the game sticker on there. Where'd my tweezers go? You guys should see the amount of stuff on my desk. Oh my gosh. It's a 4:30 game, so this feels like about 4:30. I'm a chronological planner, which means this is morning, middle day, evening. So I just need enough room to write the score. So that is everything. I'm gonna let this get good and dry, and then basically the only thing I have left is to use my stencils to add kitties to the boxes. So I'm gonna clean up my desk a little bit while this dries. I'll be right back. All right, so the last thing I wanna do is use my stencils to put kitties in the spread, and I'm gonna color them in with these. These are size 10 jelly rolls. So not great for writing very tiny, but for something like this, they're perfect. So for example, these 2 kitties right here laying together need kind of a big space. So they're not gonna fit just anywhere. So I'm gonna put them here. So there's one example. And then like this guy here leaning down over a box, he's not gonna be able to go just anywhere. So I'm gonna put him here. And again, I'm gonna use colors that don't match the boxes. So for example, I've got all 3, but this is a purple box. So I'm going to use either orange or green to color him in. When you're done coloring, try really hard to lift your stencil straight up. Otherwise, you're going to get a smear. I did have a few little smears, and while everything was drying, I did try to erase them. They erase relatively well. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, put on some music for you guys, and just start coloring in some kitties. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do one on this page, lift my stencil straight up, come over and do one on this page, and I'll go back and forth, and that way each page has a chance to dry before I add to it. So here we go. Light pressure works best. You get better ink flow if you use light pressure with these pens. And you want to keep the caps on, otherwise they do have a tendency to dry out a little bit. I'm going to use a Kleenex to kind of blot this stencil to try to get as much of the ink off of it as I can. So first try, there's a little bleed through there. I might try to go and clean that up. So, all right, let's try this one. Anyway, you get the idea. So you probably noticed a couple final thoughts. Some of my little holes in my stencils were too pointy, too tiny. All the nooks and crannies for me to get my pens into, especially on this one where it was small. So something you want to test. And then you also probably noticed where I was drawing, when I was coloring in the kitties, I was trying to keep the lines parallel in a direction. I just think that gives you a cleaner effect. So I'm going to let that dry and then we'll put it in my planner. Okay, so for this side, I already know the week of the 25th, which is the week of Halloween, I want to do a blackout spread again. So I'm just going to pop this one right in my planner without doing anything to it, and I'll use the back side for next week. For this one though, the 17th was a vintage spread. There's the back of it, and I want to be able to flip from the 17th to the 18th, so we need to tape runner these together. So I'll grab my wax paper and my tape runner and we'll go all the way around the edge, even in between the punches, just like normal. For those of you that are new, I do this all the time. Okay, and then we'll line this up real careful in between the punches. There we go. So love stencils in my planner. Just make sure they don't have too many little nooks and crannies that your pen won't fit into. There is my Halloween stencil kitty cat spread for the week of 18th through the 24th. I hope you like this video. I hope it encourages you to give gel pen on black paper, blackout spreads a try, give stencils a try, metallic pens. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please consider liking and subscribing. Thank you.